have serious questions about where I lean politically. Let me sum them up in a few words. I mean, if you can't tell by the readings, I'm always talking about you taking your power back. I believe that human liberty is humankind's natural state. It existed since the dawn of time. The liberty to explore, the liberty to find things out on your own, the liberty to be wrong and to learn from it. So, it also means the liberty to leave others the hell alone. And guess what? If you're not here to take your power back, I have to wonder why. I have to wonder why you're here. Because after a few of these readings, or after a few weeks worth, you should be able to start looking into things for yourself. I know there are people that show up here every day, and I appreciate every one of you who shows up. But I have to wonder, why are you here? Some days I even wonder, why am I here? Why are we here at this very moment in time? And what do we need to know to figure that out? Believe it or not, those are the questions I ask every deck of cards I'm going to be doing here. And you know what day it is. It's Full Scale Friday. By the way, postscript on the Hostile Solo book. It finally showed up yesterday. I posted that in my mail call section on my Twitter. So if you're following me on Twitter, you can see it there. Special thanks to Eric Fabiashi for the recommendation. And I do have a PDF of it as well. I've been reading up on that. When and where I can the last couple weeks. Just a little light reading. And the way Hostile Solo is it's a game set in space. Space is a very brutal frontier. This is not the optimistic sci-fi that there is. And things can go very wrong very quickly, and they can also go from bad to worse. But anyway, that's not why you're here. You're here for the readings today. And by the way, I would like to thank those people for the Friday postings they do on Twitter, where they post circles of all the accounts that they're most closely linked to or that they interact with most. Because many of them shout me out every Friday, and it's usually within an outer circle or an inner circle. It doesn't matter. I'm still within their circles, and proud to be there. And I want to say this. Some of you know how my week has been on Twitter. It's been interesting. The most frustrating of interactions was where we've had about 3 people who come in asking questions and then not even acknowledging the answers they get, and they just drone on, and I'm not interested in them. So I've shut them out, or I've just ceased ever answering them. I've provided them with a couple of threads that I've posted that clarify my stance, and whenever I got, I'm not reading through a thread. Okay, your loss. But we're having a conversation. No, we're really not. Conversation's over. See, the thing about some people, let me tell you how insidious this can become. Whenever someone is a devout devotee of anything, I don't care whether it's politics, religion, some people have made politics their religion. They often become very fanatical. Let me tell you the structure of this thing. Extreme political person A, and I say extreme because they are extremely into it, what they do is they see you, I'm addressing the person who just really doesn't want anything to do with it. They want to be left alone. They want to play their games. They want to read their books. They want to listen to their music. They want to watch their TV shows or movies. They want to do their work. They want to go home, and then that's it. They don't really want to deal with any of that nonsense. But they take you, that person, and they start trying to convert you. If you refuse to be converted, well, then you must side with them, and that's all that there is to it. And it gets to the point where the harassment, the name-calling, the drivel that they produce, which is all they produce, gets to the point where it invades everything that you love, and then past a certain point, you're so tired from it that you'll do anything to be left alone, including joining them. And so you go to that person. Now that person begins to indoctrinate you, right? It was never about saving you. See, the thing that they tell you is salvation is always within reach. All you have to do is, all you have to say is, all you have to give up is, and they all end the same way, and you will get this eternal reward. The problem is, it's not there. It's a rotten carrot on the end of the stick, projected so far out that you can't see how rotten it is. And when you squint and you start to see it, they beat you over the head with the stick. You don't ask questions. You do nothing of the sort. And then what they'll do is they'll point to someone who is so disgruntled, who is trying to warn everyone that they're being scammed, they're being ostracized for it, and they use that to scare the shit out of you. Well, you don't want to become that, do you? And that's what keeps you under control. It's what takes your power away from you. Refuse to associate with it. Deny them. It's a very strange message that I got to deliver, but I had to. Let's see if the cards bear it out. Starting with you and the wisdom of Odin. Odin, in this case, personifies his own sacrifices, hanging himself on the tree of Yggdrasil, sacrificing his own eye. Twice he gave up things that meant everything to him in order to attain higher wisdom. Because he had a singular focus, something mattered so much to him that he would give up those things in order to attain what it was he sought. No one else told him to give those things up. He did it himself. He did it for himself. He also did it for us. He knew his doom was coming, but he didn't want to see the rest of us doomed as well. And he knew he was a god, so he sought wisdom. The wisdom to try to avert it. Being guided by the very things that end. Odin would not allow himself to get stuck. He would always try to find a way. But here's the thing. This world has to pass away in some form or another. The things that even you love will pass away. And in some cases, something better will take its place. Other people will rise up. And they will produce something better. It's all very cyclical, this sort of like death, birth, rebirth thing. Looking into nature, got a groundhog spirit, letting us know it's time to let go. Time to let loose from the controls. Controlling that which matters to us most. Ladies and gentlemen, I know this property right here, the one you're looking at on my cup, it's dying. Because now Wizards of the Coast wants to nano-manage their entire staff. And let me tell you something, if you only thought it's going to pass through a team of sensitivity readers, you don't know the half of it. Everything produced by anyone at the company will go through a little tribunal, and then we'll go through a further tribunal. So you're looking at least 3 sensitivity readers for every writer, every artist, oh, and everything they decide to reprint. Now, how that company intends to get anything done, I do not know, and I do not care. That's dying. The brand will eventually die. But that's alright, because there are so many other games out there that can be played, and they're this in everything but name. I recommend them quite often. Mentally, how are we? Well, we got a King of Swords here. We got a 9 of Wands. And we got a Chariot. So far, that Knight of Swords is letting us know that the sword must be sheathed. The Knight of Swords is about very, very quick thinking. If we want to fare well through the conflict, we got to be able to think on our feet. Nine of Wands is about holding that fire, holding your ideas, but not so tightly that no one can see them or experience them. You see the hands holding the fire. What you don't see is that the hands are open to show you the fire. That's the thing most people miss. And finally, we got a Chariot here. A lot of forward movement. A lot of positive movement. We know where our ideas are taking us. They're solidifying friendships. They're pulling us together. And that's what ideas should do. Ideas should not be used as a weapon to put a further wedge between people. Physically speaking, I can tell you I'm tired as hell right now. Physically speaking, we're looking at the real and very tangible. It's time to step out. It's time to step up and emerge and show off your talents here. Because that's what judgment is. Being able to kind of rise from the grave, rise from those ashes. Because in our present, we do have very, very new opportunities in the very, very real world that are beginning to sprout, and we need to start fertilizing them. We need to start watering them. Again, focusing on what we love, because even though the tower is here, the foundation, that's what these cards are showing. We build upon a much better foundation. And we can dance in celebration about it. It's not an issue. We have the Hanged Man. We have a 6 of Wands. And we have the 4 of Coins in our spirit setting here. In our spiritual row. It's all about finding that peace with yourself. You really do have to have that calm inner peace in order to really put forward your best ideas. And people are going to vehemently oppose your best ideas. But the problem is that they're losing, not you. You're going to be in the winner's circle here. Not them. Don't worry about them. Again, just be careful. Don't hold on too tightly. You're going to have to loosen the grip a little bit. Because it's going to make everything. If you hold on too tightly to it, to that idea, guess what? You'll get nothing out of the deal. Especially when you run out of ideas. When you're running tight on an idea, if you hold it all to yourself, it never gets released into the world. No one ever gets to experience it. That's a problem. Shaman's Dream Oracle tells us we have our stars in the sky for a limitless possibility. Deep quiet for meditation and stillness, and woodwives for adaptability. Start here. I think this card pretty much says it all, don't you? There's always that phrase, the sky's the limit. Why stop there? Because there's no sky. It's just what we perceive to be sky. The further up we go, we get into space. And the further out we go, the more we're among stars. If you shoot for the moon and you miss, you still land among stars. But you're gonna need a moment or two to yourself. And if you've been stretching yourself too thin, this is the message to knock it off. Turn everything off for just one day. Listen only to the sound of that clock on the wall, ticking seconds away. This is your life, and it's ending 1 second at a time. But if you don't get that deep calm, or that deep quiet, such as what the hangman here has, you are never going to be getting anything done. Your mind can't always be a cacophony of voices. Finally, woodwives for that adaptability. Being adaptable and being flexible is going to be a very, very highly prized skill for you. If you're too rigid, you don't bend, and if you don't bend, you will break. It's that simple. So be adaptable. Be ready to adapt it, for anything. Got to change something that you had your heart kind of set on? Well, that's okay. Change it. Especially if it's just in an idea phase, like my book is right now. I've actually made a couple changes. Stuff that I thought I was kind of married to, and now not so much. And it's okay, because no one saw it. By the time you get the book in your hands, it'll be the final edition anyway. Mentally, it's time to get those gifts going. You're born with gifts. You can develop them, or you can ignore them. What are you good at? Start thinking about that. Manas. Have you operated with humanity, or have you tried to justify being a shitty person? I've seen plenty of people justifying being a shitty person. Or should I say rationalize it? Let's break that in 2 words like they taught us in elementary school. What are the 2 words in there? Rational lies. The problem is they're not very rational. Finally, Ivaz. Is it Ivaz? Nope. Yeah. Ivaz. This is the U tree. The U tree is built on what? Flexibility. Not holding on so tightly. That's what makes these 2 cards your active cards. The wisest thing to do is be a little more flexible. Be a little more willing to work with someone else. Being willing to help someone else. Being willing to accept the help. Because if you're stuck right now, it's a good way to go. I gotta get this thing in the pipe for you, because I gotta get out of here pretty soon and run a couple errands. I also have some notes to type up, which I promised a couple of days ago. I want you to know something. Whether you were there on Twitter or not, if you're here right now, love you all. I want you to take care of yourselves and each other. I want you to take back your power. Certainly as hell don't give it to me. I want you to have it, not for me to have it. You can do that by always do what lights you up without anyone's permission, consent, or approval. And as always, shine on. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope that many of you will indulge me just for a moment, because I gotta do this. I could have made this into a short video, but I just didn't wanna, so I just want to go ahead and put it at the end of this one. But I do want to thank you, all of you who are here to take your power back and tell those that wish for you to, just trust them and just go along with them. Because they know everything. They know the way, and they're all the enlightened ones. Well, if you find that there's bullshit in there, even if it's just a small amount, I hope that you'll say, you know what, I've been thinking about it, and I don't think I really need your permission, your consent, or your approval, so I'm just going to go do my thing, and good luck with yours. Because if it's me you say that to, this is going to be the exact response you get from me. Okay. I wish you the absolute best of luck, and if at any time you need something, come on back. The door is always open. If you say that to someone else, and they begin to scream and yell and belittle and berate you, you'll know exactly the type of person you're dealing with. Because those people don't want you to have power. Personally, I know that the only way your power grows is if you go out there to experience it yourself. Unlike some, I do not lead a cult. I'm just here to give you a reading. Maybe get you a little insight on what might go on during your day. Stuff to look out for. You still have all the agency, and most importantly, all the power to make your own decisions. Like the Oracle said in the Matrix, I just give you the information. You make up your own damn mind what you do with it. That's how it is. And for those of you who've been rocking with me from the beginning, to those who are rocking with me to this very day, those who've placed your trust in me, I thank you. Deeply thank you. And it's my sincerest hope that if I could just ask one more favor from you, you would indulge me on that. And no, it's not purchasing a private reading or anything like that. It's simply this. If you see me screwing up, let me know. Because we're friends here, right? If you're screwing up, I'm going to let you know. If you see me doing it, let me know. We'll see what we can work out. Alright? Love you all. Thank you again. Have the greatest of weekends. And exercise your power whenever possible. Take care.